I hated English class in high school, but there was one line that really stuck with me, and it was from a T.S. Eliot story about this guy who's basically felt like he was wasting his life. And he said that he measured his whole life in coffee spoons, meaning he felt so bored as if he was just like literally just like pouring coffee with a spoon into like a glass his whole life. Like that was his whole life, is just pouring coffee into a cup. And you don't want to feel like that. You don't want your life to feel like it's just so mundane, so boring that you're almost living automatically. You're not really pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, and you're just feeling like it's just like passing by so slowly that you're like, it feels like you're just weighing out coffee. Like you're just literally sitting there. You don't want to feel like that. You don't want to waste your potential. You don't want to feel like you're wasting your life. And so many people, they do that. They feel like they're wasting their life. So that, oh man, I'm in London right now. It's like a little hectic at this park. But so many people, they feel like they're wasting their life because they don't actually pursue the things that they truly want to do. And if you don't do that, then it's like, how could you actually feel fulfilled if you're not actually trying? But the more you try, the more you'll feel fulfilled, the more meaning you'll feel. And of course, yeah, it doesn't always work out. You don't always get like the big victory from like everything that you're doing. But you at least try. You at least like try and be yourself. Because at the end of the day, like what else are you doing with your life other than trying to be yourself and actually like express yourself and like learn new things? You know what I mean? So there's like some drunk guys behind me. They're like singing. But yeah, you have to like actually pursue things that you wanna do, because what else are you gonna do with your life? You know, you might as well try. Might as well put yourself out there. Might as well, post videos if you want to do that. You might as well take the acting class if you want to do it. And you don't have to like do this in a way that you're gonna completely go broke and like you're not gonna try to make any money. No, you could do it in a way that's kind of sustainable. Like have it as a side hustle, but make sure that you're not living your life feeling like it's not meaningful, because at the end of the day, like that's all you got. All you got is like your desire for meaning, your desire to live a happy life. So it's like, spend your time wisely, spend your attention wisely. Don't waste it on just scrolling, playing video games, things that give you like really short-term pleasure. Try and pursue things that you think would be long-term meaningful, because that's when you really feel proud of yourself. Like you don't feel proud of yourself after playing video games for 5 hours. And I'm not saying to never play video games, but I'm saying like obviously that is not going to give you the meaning that's going to sustain you throughout your life. What will though is like putting yourself outside of your comfort zone, trying new things, traveling, like experiencing things that you want to do, posting videos if that's something that's meaningful to you. Like figure out the things that are meaningful to you. And if you don't know, then just try a bunch of things that are outside of your comfort zone, because if you try a bunch of things that are outside of your comfort zone, some of them you will really like, and those things that you really like, you can actually like build your life around those things. Like for me, I love making videos, right? I make comedy skits too. I do a little stand-up comedy, and it's like such a cool thing that I found this, but it only happened because I knew I felt uncomfortable doing it. And if there's something that you're afraid of that you shouldn't be, it may be because you truly want to do it. So if you don't know where to start with the things that you're afraid of, because those things can give you direction. Like fear can be a compass. Fear can be a compass. It can tell you what to do, because when you actually like look at the things you're afraid of, it's like, why else would I be afraid of this unless I really wanted to do it? That's how I felt about making content. That's how I felt about stand-up comedy. It was like, I knew it would be uncomfortable, but the fact that it would be uncomfortable and that I wanted to do it was a good enough reason. You know what I mean? That's a good enough reason. A good enough reason is that you want to do it. You don't have to be amazing at this thing. Why not just try? Why not feel like it's somewhat meaningful? Like don't waste your life. Don't waste your potential, because your potential exists outside of your comfort zone, because who you are right now is where your comfort zone is. But your potential is outside of your comfort zone, right? You haven't realized it yet. But the way to realize it is to put yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's to try new things. It's to actually, pursue the things that you want to do. It's not to sit around and not do anything and like waste your time and just fulfill it with things that give you short-term pleasure. It's not gonna, your potential won't be fulfilled if your time is constantly filled with short-term pleasure. Try and pursue the things that actually, there's some level of delayed gratification. Because when you delay gratification, well, then you start to see the results of it after you delay it, right? That's why it's called delayed gratification. You start to be gratified afterwards. But listen, you don't want to live a life that's just like so unfulfilling, like so meaningless. Because if you feel like you're living a meaningless life, like you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're not going to feel like, oh wow, I spent my time in the way that I wanted to. You want to look back at your life and be like, at least I tried all the things that I wanted to do, and I pursued those things, and I actually like put in some effort. And yeah, of course, it didn't always work out. It's never always going to work out, but it's still going to be worth it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. Of course, it's not going to be easy. If you're leaving your comfort zone, you feel uncomfortable. But the fact that it is uncomfortable is an indication that it's outside of your comfort zone, which means you can find growth in it. And listen, again, I'm not saying that this is going to be easy. It's not going to be easy to pursue the things you want to do, whether that's posting videos, whatever, acting, stand-up comedy. I don't know what it is you want to do. Whatever it is, it won't necessarily be easy, but it will be worth it. Life's not easy, but it's worth it. Take care.